Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, and welcome back to Hermit Quest. That is right, we are back here after a ton of work on our lower level, which we will definitely take a look at in just a minute. But in today's episode, we are going to add our market, which is going to be so incredible. I have some really cool ideas for this particular area. So we're going to build up some market stands, and I need to talk to Iskall actually about if he wants to do NPCs, in the stall selling books and enchanted things. And if he doesn't, it's okay, because we'll still have our market. It just won't have NPCs. So I need to ask him about that. And of course, he's in charge of that because I don't want any part of NPC making. So right here, we've got a thing that I'm thinking about doing, like maybe a little like a doorway under here, just a little place that eventually that could be another area for, players within Hermit Quest to, explore the area. So I think that might be pretty cool. So yeah, little stands going about here, I think is going to look really, really nice. So jumping into here, this room, of course, is something we've been kind of going back and forth about what we should do here. So my idea, a map room. So we're going to do a giant circular table. So think of King Arthur's round table. So we'll get that all assembled and ready to roll. And then up on the walls, we're going to do maps of all the kingdoms and towers and all those good things throughout the map. And let's go up to this upper level. And this is the sticky point. So this one is a room that I could not think of what I could put up here. Now, I didn't want to do anything in the realm of king's like quarters, like bedroom, dining room, kitchens, all that stuff. That's on the right-hand tower. This is the left tower. And I was trying to figure out what we could do here because this is above the map room. So maybe something war related like the armory, but I've got an idea. Originally, it was just a simple kind of library. And then Augie, of course, came up with a brilliant idea. And that was make the library, but from Harry Potter, like the Forbidden Library. And I was like, that's amazing. But I was like, how do you make books look scary? Then I got it, guys. Take a look at this. If we jump over here to custom NPC mods, well, I'm sorry, I directed you to the wrong place. It's over here. There we go. So these things, the banjo, the violin, the clarinet. Aha, I'm so excited. All of these things can be, kind of mysterious magical items that's been forbidden within the walls of this tower and hidden up here. We got severed ears and everything. So my thoughts are that we're going to set up some little display cases on either side here. We'll do some bookcases on either end, and then back in this corner right here, it's going to be an Easter egg for Iskall. Iskall put this whole thing together, so we're going to throw in a fun little Easter egg for him in the corner there. And of course, the way we do the enchanting tables, if I decided to do it with plan B, it will actually require me to remove the Easter egg and do an enchanting table there, but I think it'll still work out. So let's dive into super express mode and let's head deep underground and take a look at what we completed in our last episode, which I'm so very excited about. So if we dive deep into the ground here, we can find our crystal cave. And this, of course, is our magical cave where people in the game are going to come and then work their way down the staircase into the giant crystal and enchant. So if we fly all the way down here, you'll notice that I've actually added obsidian under the water, so it's a little bit of a darker effect, so it gives it a bit more mystery, which I absolutely love. And then inside the actual crystal, oh my gosh, look at this. So originally, remember we were talking, I didn't want to make the bookshelves and the enchanter really prominent. I really wanted this whole crystal to be kind of the thing that you look at, but then, nestled in is the utility part of it, getting your things enchanted. Now, in the comments, I asked you guys, hashtag, what color should we choose? Overwhelmingly, you guys want this thing to be red, yellow, and orange, and we're definitely going to do that in this episode. So we'll try out some colors and things along those lines and see which one we like. So yeah, thank you so much for all those suggestions. Oh, and of course, the obsidian on the floor, that was an idea given to me on Twitter. So thank you so much. And once I added the obsidian in here, I definitely saw a really cool change in the lighting. So I think that came out really, really cool. And guys, thank you so much for all the support on this series so far. It's very much appreciated. And let's get into today's project. Apparently time is frozen here on Hermit Quest. The stars are frozen, the sun is in its fixed position for some reason. I'm not exactly sure, but let's dive right into today's build. So first thing we're going to do is build a round table. Well, actually that's not in the center at all. There we go. So my thoughts are we're going to do a round table in the center here. And then on these walls, we're going to try to figure out how to position some maps of all the different kingdoms. So I think this is going to look pretty cool. So why don't we just start figuring this circle out? Now, this is definitely my Achilles heel of Minecraft, is ever trying to make circles. So we're going to try to figure this out, but I've said this a lot lately, and I just, every time I bring it up, I feel like it's more and more true, is that whenever, at least I'm challenged with constraints of space, it just seems like it brings out a certain level of creativity that feels like it maybe is dormant in me. Do you guys feel the same way? If I'm given an endless space to build, I sometimes will just sit there and get kind of like him and Han about all the possibilities. But sometimes if I'm given a space constraint and just told to do it, even a time constraint, boy, it can sometimes bring out a bit of creativity that was kind of hiding out and being lazy in me. And I don't know about you guys if that's the same thing. And I've mentioned this before about constraints and things along those lines, and how sometimes the little challenges like that can really bring out creativity. And boy, I just feel like it's more true than ever. And I think using these particular rooms, for instance, they're circular. They have windows oddly positioned on the sides for the outside. And of course, on our upper level up here, if I can shoot up here real quick, there's windows on all four sides, plus this strange little ladder going up and down. So it's very difficult sometimes to figure out how to fit the things that I want in here. Yeah, if I had endless room, I could think of a lot of really crazy things to build, but I feel like sometimes things that I never would have thought of before would never be possible without a little constraint. And let's dive into the maps here, and let me know what you think about that, if that's even true at all, or if I'm just being crazy, which is very likely. So let's pull these up here like so. And then right here, this was a bit of a problem. See, we had this little space here. And of course, up here, we have an additional opening to the outside, but I think we'll be able to get away with it if nobody looks too closely at the walls, that is. All right, so we're gonna pull up here. So see these little spaces we're building up? This is perfect location for maps. And these maps will of course be all the kingdoms and different things along those lines. So I think that's gonna look really cool. So I gotta go and make sure I have enough maps. I think I've got them all. So in this little thing here, I think I've got, let's see, that's one kingdom, 2, 3, and this is my build, and that should be Holden's Tower. I think we've got enough so far. So I think I've got everything. I'm missing one spot. So I was thinking about this little corner right here, of course, can be for the smaller maps. And these little spots here, I think that'll be really cool. So why don't we just finish this up by getting some extra little details built in these corners, really framing up the maps, and then I'll show you the result. And there we go. We got the maps up on the walls. We got some decorative details built around. So what I'm working on now is getting ourselves a little chandelier built up and ready to roll, looking super fancy. Now, as you can see on our little chairs, I've added the same design as we did down in the office, and of course that is the trapdoor. Now, some of you guys were kind of hoping that I might use the roleplay mods chairs, so we'll take a look at those in just one second, but look at the maps, guys. There's Iskal's kingdom, there is Jeffy Jeff's kingdom, and of course, the Og. So he's got that beautiful one over there, and then there's mine. And then Holden, of course, here is his amazing tower. And I love this because it's just 2 map high. And I think that really kind of shows off the whole cool design. And a fun thing about this entire tower is that this whole like crazy intricate way that Holden has built this is it's not within this piece of tower. It's elsewhere. I'm not exactly sure, but you teleport in there. And it's kind of amazing. It's like the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland. It's hard to explain. You know, if you look at the outside of the Haunted Mansion, the ride's not in there. The ride is in this gigantic show building in the back. So I think of Holden's Tower as the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. I think it goes perfect. I think that's like a perfect like analogy for that, how awesome it is. Okay, so we've got that down. I'm just going to put some cups because, when you're doing all your war planning and you're mapping, you need some drinks, of course, seems natural. So we got that set up, ready to roll. And yeah, I think this room is looking cool. So there's definitely some areas that I might want to improve in this spot right there. And if I could just add like some more kind of decorative elements that may be placed here by a person. Do you see what I mean by that? Is the cups. That's just something that somebody placed, and most people are right-handed, so I'll just put that right there. There we go. Yeah, that's right. And then we'll just have like one left-handed. Perfect. That's a good design right there. And yeah, that's looking really great. But what I mean is people have placed things. You got to think in terms of like a set decorator, as if you go into an environment, you try to interact with it as the person you're trying to portray would. And I think this is looking decent. Like I said, this spot still could use some more details, but let's head upstairs and kind of see where we're going to work here. So in the upper level, what I'm thinking about is doing a gate. So this, of course, is the forbidden magic item area. So all the forbidden magical items are stored up here at the top of the tower, heavily guarded. Maybe we'll even put a guard at the door and put some higher level chests up here. That could be a good idea. We'll talk about that later. But I'm thinking if we push out the walls like this, right? If we build these up like a so, and then let's see, do we have our iron bars? Oh, we do. And if we take this across here like that, boom and a bam. And then, yeah, if we do something like this as like gates leading into here, and of course we'll have shelves with all those scary little items across there, and potentially we can name them things that represent the different hermits. Like there's a guitarish thing that maybe would fit Azuma. Things along those lines might be fun little Easter eggs, because this isn't a place that all the game participants will make it to, but only a few. And if they make it here, they can see some fun and interesting little Easter eggs representing the hermits. Does it sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan to me. Let me get started with this. It appears the king of this castle is none other than Eric the Enderman. Hello, Eric. How are you? Oh, good old Eric. Eric has been with us since, I believe, Scarland in the roller coaster project. A long time ago, Eric used to keep us company in our live streams as we built our super awesome roller coaster. But welcome to the top level. So I've been doing some arranging and kind of blueprinting out this area, and it's just a puzzle, really. Trying to come up with how the shelves will be arranged and things of that nature, and I kind of love it. That's what I love about interiors, is they're puzzles, and they're just, you've got some ideas, you've got kind of a core amount of furniture pieces and designs that you have in mind, and then it's just, how do I take those ideas and fit them in the puzzle of an interior? And I think we've got some pretty sweet designs. So why don't we push this up here a little farther? There we go. And then let's give it a little topper. There we go, looking sweet. I might actually do those in smooth stone. I think that actually might be fairly nice. Why don't we give that a shot real quick? Actually, we have some with us, so we can put, oh yeah, for sure. That's a great little contrast pop off there, looking sweet. All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put down our item frames. So we're gonna sneak those in there like so, looking super awesome. And maybe a little bit of gray carpet on the top here. How about that? Why don't we grab that out and see what we can do with that and put that across? Oh yes, that's looking absolutely beautiful. Now, question to you is, can I actually put gray carpet down here without popping those armor stands or item frames? I think it works. For some reason, I thought that didn't work. Maybe it's with snow. Maybe that's the thing. But I might actually do this in gray on the lower level here. I think that actually might look a little nicer. But these are the stands. So if we were to jump over to this and we go down to here and we look through this thing and say we find ourselves a severed head and we put that in there like that, these are the things. If we name these towards, you know, things that are Easter eggs towards other hermits, I think that would be really fun. So in the comments, go hashtag Easter egg ideas and give me some names for some of these items. So say we had the violin or the banjo. Is there a guitar? There is a guitar. So this could be something for Azuma because he plays the guitar or something along those lines. Like that might be, I don't know what. You guys will have to come up with it. Maybe Mumbo's broken spoon. I don't know. Just come up with some really fun, unique ideas. Like I said, in the comments, go hashtag Easter egg ideas and give me some of those. The whole Easter egg idea actually came from one of your guys' comments. And it was, why don't you add like a little Escalium to the cave as a little homage to Iskall? And I thought that was a great idea. But I didn't really think it fit too much down below, but the whole idea of an Easter egg is kind of the premise of this entire room. So thank you guys. Like your comments, like maybe it's not exactly what I'll do, but it spurs the inspiration of Scar's mind. And thank you. Like I appreciate that a lot. So in this little back corner is kind of a temporary thing. Maybe this will stay, maybe it won't. But my idea is potentially to have the level 30 down below. So talking enchanters, having 2 enchanters of varying levels in the upper level towers here. And this might be a location for one of them. But for now, till I really like nail down the design, I really want to talk to the build team about how we should do the actual you know, enchanters. This is just going to be like a little Easter egg spot for now. Like I said, these are all little temporary ideas and we'll see which one we find works the best. But for now, I think this is gonna be pretty fun. So if we kind of cover this up and we'll build that back here. Now in these little corners over here, that's a good question. What do we do back here? So why don't we throw in some bookcases? When in doubt, always throw in some bookcases. That's totally been my motto forever. I just remember in Scarland, like when we had such limited amounts of things that we could do back in the day, like in 2011, I'm like, what can we do to jazz it up? Do we have paintings and we have bookcases? Like that is all we had for decorations. And I always said, like when in doubt, place a bookcase. There we go. So we'll put that down. Ooh, nope, not that. No, I'm not about that. How about something like that? No, I'm still not a big fan of that. How about something like this? And then right here, we put maybe an armor stand with some like enchanted spooky armor. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling like that might be the best solution. Now, like I said, some of these little corners are kind of just not exactly what I want. If we put this like here, it's a little bit too tight. I kind of want to keep this fairly open. So yeah, let me have some more time here. Let me kind of brainstorm this out a little bit. Maybe some stairs. Ooh, we may have found something. Anyway, let me work on this for just a second and I'll be right back. And look at this super awesome room. So on all the shelving units on either side of the room, we now have the forbidden items of enchanted wonders. So I think that looks pretty sweet. So we've got the cursed head, the necklace, and the tablet. So help me come up with some ideas for all of these things to be named after particular hermits. So if we jump quickly over to this and boom, and there we go. You can also look through some of these and see if these would represent a hermit better. And come up with some names and some things that I could name these particular things. So if somebody, scrolled over these, they could see some funny things that'll make them laugh during the game. So over in this little corner right here, let's put some of the forbidden items of Minecraft back here. So let's stick a little bit of birchwood there and maybe, yes, that's right. We'll put a little bit of a log on that side. So yeah, these are kind of funny. Just some of the forbidden items of Minecraft. And let me put this over here. Let's just put a little bit of the diorite down. Oh, nope. Ooh, no. Let's see if I can put it right here. Ah, perfect. I can set it right there. Awesome. Okay. And then I'm thinking maybe just a little bit of this up on the top sections. Looking very, very nice. Get that up there. Good. Like I said, this is totally just maybe just going to be like something we're going to have fun for the episode. And this will eventually become an enchanter base. But for now, it makes us laugh. And I think it'll be kind of funny. So we'll put that in there like so. So these are our forbidden enchanted items. So I think that looks pretty darn funny. So we've got that in the back. So we're going to put some signs up here, of course, like do not open, extreme danger. And over here, of course, we have all the items. And I love this idea. This is really, really cool. I think this came out super nice. So thank you guys for all the inspiration. Augie, of course. And yeah, this definitely wouldn't be possible without you guys. So let's head on down here and think about our market. So we need to think in terms of stands. So if we have our stands, what are these guys selling? So these people will be selling things that have come from this area. And of course, these are magical people. So I'd assume they'd had magical books, magical swords, magical armor, all of these wonderful things. So let's start plotting this out. So I think in this little spot right here, this is multiple spots for multiple tents. Now over here, I'm envisioning maybe like a cart, right? Maybe some kind of cart, like actually carrying some of the crystal. Now in this little spot right here, I potentially will dig down and actually do like a doorway under there. I think that would look really nice. Maybe leading to the throne room or something along those lines. And I think this spot's a perfect little tent, maybe on an angle. Maybe we do some anvils here. So color palette wise, let's kind of stick to maybe kind of some whites, light grays, and maybe some turquoise blues for the actual tent material. I think that seems appropriate. So why don't we do this? Why don't we get started with this particular tent right here? So let's start brainstorming this out. And we now have ourselves a plan. So originally I was just going to kind of dive into it, but I wanted to think a little bit more on it and really come up with some more unique designs. I didn't want to just do my standard kind of triangle kind of market design that we used in our Skyrim village long ago. So this is kind of built on an odd angle. So I think that's what gives this particular tent some unique interest. So we start building these up to about 3 blocks on either side, okay? And I tried about 10 different designs, and I'm going to try to kind of combine it all together to something fancy. So right now within this particular build is I'm more focused towards aesthetic design than, balancing out player design. So when I say player design, that means, how we're going to do the anvils, how we're going to do the enchanting tables officially. Right now, it's all about aesthetics to me. And I think once we get to the point of kind of testing the world before the actual game takes place, so that's kind of the thing, is like get it aesthetically the best you can, and then once you get to the test phase, then you can make some alterations, like maybe a pathway, maybe a door changes, maybe anvils. Like I'm thinking this tent in particular is kind of anvils, like this is kind of like a blacksmith, if you will, or something along those lines. But maybe these anvils aren't going to be here. Maybe they're going to be balanced out, so you have to go a specific place for anvils. Things along those lines is what I'm talking about. And I think generally we're doing okay in that. I don't think there's any really major balancing things that we're going to have to do when that time comes, but I think there'll definitely be a few. So we're going to start up here with about, Okay, so that's 4, right? That's 4. Okay. So I think that's decent. And what I want to do is have this have kind of like a color that's draped around the sides, almost kind of like a, you know, like a scarf, if you will. So I think that'll look fairly decent. So we're going to cut these pieces like so. So if I put this one here and I'm going to push it up just a little bit higher, then I'm going to swoop around the back. There we go. And think about kind of building this upwards, maybe to 3. I think that'll look nice. So if we build that up to 3 and then kind of come in here like this, oh, I think that's it. See, that's what I'm talking about. If we had this kind of drape off the sides, I think has a unique kind of fun design to it. So it's not just like kind of the standard market design we've used elsewhere. So if we cut these pieces out of the center, and what if we brought this up just ever so slight higher? Come on, little fella, bring yourself up there. There we go. Looking super nice. I love these builds so much. You know, this series has just been so much fun, and I think these series are definitely good places to really learn how to take your building skills a little bit further. Whereas in vanilla, you kind of take what you learn kind of in creative and implement it into vanilla. At least that's how I've done it kind of in recent years. You know, I do some fun, you know, creative series like our house building series and stuff along those lines. Those are huge learning things for me. Like, as much as I kind of use those as teaching other people how to build, they're also huge inspirational pieces for me to learn myself. And that's why I've been really loving this series, and it's been inspiring me, of course, to bring my How to Build House series back and things along those lines, which we'll definitely do in the future. And because those series really taught me how to do these interiors, how to do these small little detailed things, and absolutely love it. How do you guys think that's looking? I think it's looking, it's decent. It's decent. It needs a little work. Let me finish up all the small details, and we'll finish up this entire market all up. Welcome back, and we now have ourselves one super awesome marketplace down below. Look at that. We have 3 tents. Each one, as you could tell, has a slight different top, just to keep things from being, you know, too repetitive. You know, they have the general same style, so they're all kind of made from the same materials and people, but they have their slight uniqueness. So let's fly down here and disregard all of the skeleton horses. I've had 2 lightning strikes working on these where we've got the 3 horsemen. It's getting a little ridiculous. I don't understand why they're so plentiful in this area, but look at this. We've got this setup and ready to roll. We've got the light gray creating a little bit more of a rugged feel. I love the turquoise design, and of course a sign indicating that this, of course, is the blacksmith, looking very fancy. Now moving down the road here, excuse me, get out of here, excuse me, please leave, thank you. We have our, oh yeah, just that way please. Nope, don't even play that game with me. You keep walking that way. Oh, now you're getting up in my face. Get out of here. All right, so we've got these cool little signs, and these are indicating the armor. And of course, we have these armor stands. Now I'm thinking about locking the armor to these stands so it can't be stolen, so that would be super awesome. And I think this looks really, really nice. Now moving down the row here, we've got our little purple one, and I think that really represents the magical book section. So there's some bookcases scattered about, so I think that looks really nice. I also might change out the milk chocolate woods to oak, so I think that would look really nice. And yeah, I'm very, very pleased with this. Now you might notice there's 2 doors over here. One door directly below the king's area, and that's more of a formal entrance, if you will, into the main part of the castle. And of course, these are faux. Well, maybe not. We might consider doing something behind these doors, but for now, they're just kind of faux doors, just to use your imagination and kind of make this area feel a little bit bigger than it is. You know, who knows what's behind these doors? So I think this one looks really nice. A little pathway and a really nice tree to kind of frame it up. See how the tree kind of frames the doorway? I think that looks really nice. And then the doorway is built into, of course, the wall. So that is our outside portion. I think that is looking really, really nice. So let's take a quick recap of our interior. So of course, here's the map room. We have these chairs all built up. We have our quills for all sorts of decision making. And of course, the maps of all the different kingdoms and structures within the area. So I think those all look really, really cool. Oh, can we actually update these? Let's see if we can do it. Oh, wait, are we not in the location? Oh, there it goes. We now have our different little stands showing up on there. Ah, I love that. That's so cool. And of course, let's go up to our forbidden magical objects room. I love this. This concept of this really is what I was looking for when it comes to adding something unique and fun to the build. And these are all magical objects who have been forbidden within the kingdom. And of course, this is our little Easter egg towards a skull. And like I said, this might change. We might actually have an enchanter in there eventually. But until we decide exactly how the enchants are all going to go, we have a fun little Easter egg. So these are the most forbidden objects within the world. And yeah, lots and lots of cool little detail on the back here, little armor stands. And yeah, I am incredibly pleased with the way we have got this set up as of today. But one last thing before we head off, we're going to take the express route all the way out to the enchanting room, and we're going to dive deep into the ground. And we need to quickly decide, my friends, on how the exit strategy for this cave is gone. And I just still am a little bit at a loss. So of course, we're going to change out those crystals. Now, we didn't get a chance to today, but I'll do that off camera. We'll change it to red, yellow, and orange. And I do think that'll look really sweet. So thank you for those suggestions. And of course, what do we do? So do we create like a little walkway that flows around the corner and out through a waterfall this way, potentially a waterfall falling downwards, and maybe you have to work your way up to the waterfall? Things like that. We need some ideas. So remember, hashtag exit strategies, and help me keep kind of getting the inspiration flowing, because I haven't settled on an exact idea yet for the exit to this area. But guys, like always, thank you so much for watching. And this project is getting complete on my side, and can't be more happy to see this all come to be. And you guys have been a huge, huge part of this. So thank you very much. And until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. And if you'd leave a 0 rating, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later.